Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS Houston camp. And this lesson is going to be entitled, This Truth is a Transformative Journey. And I don't remember exactly where the title came from. Well, I think the other day I was writing down I usually just write down in my notes and whatnot, like different titles or different kind of themes of what to go into. And basically like the wording just changed around because originally it was this walk requires change, and this walk being the truth. It's not a aimless walk. This walk has a destination, and the destination is to the kingdom. And part of this walk or journey, it requires you to change. And it's not necessarily that you would want to change or anything like that, but it's just to continue to progress requires change. So if you want to progress, you should want to change, is what I'm getting at. So along the way, like we don't have any kind of choice in any of the matters. So it's required of us. Like we have to adapt to the situations and adapt lawfully. And in this walk or journey, it's like being tried in the fire, meaning that you're not going to be the same person that you were before you started this journey. It requires constant change, daily change, and change isn't always coming like a big thing. No, it's a process. Day by day, you learn a little bit about yourself, and as you learn more about yourself, you progress, and events happen that will try you, meaning to test you out, to see what you're made out of. And let me just go ahead and jump into this. This is in the Edamon online because of the title, just to get that out the way. This is the transform, to change the form of, change in shape, metamorphosis, or metamorphose, say, to form. So undergo a change of form. So right now we're undergoing a changing process. Like, how do you say? Like if we're the elect are likened unto fine gold and whatnot. Well, refining gold is the whole process. Like you just don't have pure fine gold right away. Like, no, it has to be dug up, melted down some more, continually melted down to get all the impurities out of it. So, like in this walk, like we're constantly melted down and reformed, and then melted down again and reformed up until the process that we're finally out of here. And this is building how our characters are. Like, we're the men of Yashar Allah here in Babylon, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. We're set to be a nation of priests and kings. That's the entire nation, wherever we've been scattered, set to be a nation of priests and kings. But here, in this current state of the world, we're servants. We're the lowest of the low. We're not even considered that one day we'll be priests and kings. But through this process, through this truth, we learn these things. We learn, oh, this is how a true judge should act. We learn about balance. We learn about, how do you say? I want to say regal. How to be regal. How to be royalty. We learn about these things. We learn to carry ourselves or to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And this is all a learning process at the moment. And the next word is journey. It says a defined course of traveling, which, on this journey, this is where we're going. We're going from here, Babylon the Great, to Yahushai's kingdom, the kingdom of Yasharallah. So, continuing, one's path in life, a day's length, a day's work or travel. And so, with all these things, like, this is a day-to-day thing, a day-to-day refining. This is daily work for ourselves in the truth. Like, we read, we study, we go out and preach, we do our lessons. And this is a daily work. And our lives have already been mapped out by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So in this journey, we have our work. And this work that we do changes us as well. And Lord willing, for all of you out there, this work changes you for the better. Because you can do this work, or you can have knowledge of the truth, or anything. Like, you can have knowledge of the truth. You could think you're doing the work. You could tell people to keep commandments and all this stuff. But really, this could be making you worse. You're worse off than before. Now you came in before the truth. In the world, you were a thief. Now that you're in the truth, now you're just a better thief. You just had to, you just know some scriptures now. You haven't really changed. You changed for the worse, and you're a reprobate. But in this, you change for the better. If you were a thief, you're no longer about that old man, no longer about that life. You put that off. All that work in that direction was for nothing, and that was the wrong direction. Now in these scriptures, you learn a new way to go, and you work daily at it, how to improve yourself. And Lord willing, this is making sense and edifying. So moving on, this is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, prepare thy soul for temptation. And the temptation isn't just talking about, a little corny, the music group, or even like in the world, like you see a beautiful woman or whatever, like, oh, I'm being tempted, or like you see some food, some good looking food or whatever, like I'm tempted to eat that. Like, no, it's not just referring to that kind of stuff. Like, temptation is the things that try you, that test you, that test what you're made out of, that whether or not you're that fine gold, or you'll be reprobate silver, rejected. And things that tempt is like the heat. Whether or not that heat will make you or break you, whether you will come out more refined, or just broken. This is what it means. Like, prepare to be tested. You say you want to be a man of the Lord. Well, now you have to do what the man of the Lord would do. What a man of the Lord would do. You have the scriptures to learn from, but prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for the obstacles ahead, because it's not a cakewalk. There's so many distractions. There's, evil spirits all around us. There's men that want to kill you, men that want to intimidate you, men that want to take advantage of you. Like, there's so many things here. Like, are you going to continue walking the path? And it's not a wide path. This is a narrow path. Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. So, understand, like, you have to have a understanding of these scriptures. Like, set your mind upright. Don't lean to the left. Don't lean to the right. Be upright. Be balanced. And understand what balance is. Like, not everything is always cut and dry. You can't handle things like you were in the world. You might have to seek counsel from other brothers. But the main thing is the understanding of the scriptures, and endure these things. Endure, like your patience. You these things work your patience, and endurance and patience go together, meaning being able to withstand suffering. Because most of the suffering, you aren't always physically suffering. Some of the suffering can come in your mind. Your thoughts plague you. Demons plague your mind. You might have constant, flashbacks and stuff like that. But these things, you have to endure these things. And make not haste in time of trouble. When anything happens, the first sign of trouble, the first thing you're doing is running away or whatever. Learn how to pray. Learn how to pray constantly. Seek the Lord in all these things. Ask the Lord for wisdom in situations. How to handle these things. And this will be trial and error. But know that first off, you have to ask Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for the wisdom to handle these situations. And this is how you learn to endure these things. Because the first thing you're doing in any kind of trouble, you panicking or whatever like that, recognize your patterns when you get into trouble. Part of this whole experience is pattern recognition. You have to know yourself. Like, you have to dwell in these bodies, in your own body. You have to know yourself. If the first thing that you're doing is panicking at the sign of trouble, like, recognize that. Take a couple of deep breaths. Start praying. Ask the Lord to deliver you. Ask the Lord to strengthen you. Ask the Lord to have mercy on you. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So, we cleave unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We cleaving really onto Yahushai, because Yahweh's not even dealing with us. And Salaki for the noise. Cleave onto the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We have these scriptures here for a reason. Shoot. I think roughly paraphrasing the scriptures, where it's any confounded that put their trust in Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai? No. Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. And that doesn't mean to be, super happy, like, woo, I just got in a car wreck. Yes. Like, no, it doesn't mean like that. It just means like to take it on the chin, like to keep rolling. Be patient, learn how to suffer. Hey, because some, learn how to go without. Like when you change to a lower estate, hey, it doesn't always feel good, but you learn how to deal with it. This isn't a cakewalk, like how I said before. This isn't just an easy walk. You have to learn how to handle these situations. Like Job said, hey, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Hey, the only reason you're here is because of the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And if you're hearing this truth, your whole duty is to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And really, that's the whole duty of everyone on this earth. But to those who is given to, you have this foreknowledge. You have this knowledge that this is my duty to serve. For as gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So in this, we have to, like we're likened on the gold. Like gold has to be put in the fire, melted down some more. So this, for you to be acceptable, hey, you have to go through stuff. Your character has to be tried. These flaws have to be rooted out. You might be easygoing. Well, in this truth, you can't be so easygoing no more. You have to learn how and when to put your foot down. Because easygoing, hey, you can go overboard with that. Now people are walking all over you. Now people don't respect you because you're so easygoing. People think they can get away with anything around you. People think that nothing bothers you. But it's not true. So you have to learn in balance how to not be so easygoing. How to stand up. How to recognize when somebody is taking advantage of you. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. So, hey, believe, have faith. Hey, Yahushai is here with us. Yahushai is always going to be here with his elect. Hey, believe in Yahweh while Yahushai. Have faith in them. They'll deliver you out of these situations. Hey, you might have to suffer, whatever, but you might even have to die in this truth. But hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is still with you, though. You're going to get a new body. You have a spot in the book of life. You're going to have be a part of the kingdom. Like, there's so much. Like, these bodies right now, this life that we live in, this ain't shit. And going on to my next precept, which I might close out soon. I had a few more precepts, but I think I've hit the point. So, this is Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is your reasonable service. Hey, so our bodies, this that we're giving our life for, is a sacrifice. And in this, you have to change. Like, you just can't present anything to the altar. It has to be spotless, without blemish. You know, in the ancient world, you know, the Levites, they'd have to sacrifice, you know, whether it be lambs, doves, oxen, or I'm sorry, cattle. Like, it has to be a certain way. Like, you just couldn't sacrifice any animal. You couldn't give an unclean sacrifice. You couldn't give a sacrifice with blemishes or broken bones or anything. It has to be a certain age. Like, in this truth, you just can't think that whatever you're doing is acceptable. You have to change. You have to learn how to give a better sacrifice. Like, if you're just being a nigga in the world, hey, what do you think your sacrifice? Your sacrifice isn't worth anything. Your sacrifice will be rejected. Continuing on, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good, what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So in this, like, the ways of this world are complete darkness, but we're transformed in this truth by the light of Yahushai, by the light of these scriptures. And our minds are renewed day by day. We learn how to handle things better. We learn how to carry ourselves better. And to prove it, like how we're being proved. Let me get that word real quick. Proved. G1381 dokimazo. To test. By implication, to approve, allow, discern, examine. To examine, prove, scrutinize. To see whether a thing is genuine or not, as metals. To recognize as genuine after examination, to approve, to deem worthy. So in this, that we can deem it worthy, what is good and acceptable and perfect to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And we have these scriptures to go by, not our own knowledge of the world. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. Yeah, we're unprofitable servants. We're not kings yet. We still got these fucking decrepit bodies. We can't do anything in these bodies. These bodies are a death trap. But to think soberly, not slacking. Let me start it over. Romans 12:3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have dealt to every man that measure, the measure of faith. But think soberly. Think, let me get that word too. Soberly. G4993. Sophroneo, to be of sound mind, sane, moderate, to be in right mind, to be sober-minded, to exercise self-control, to put a moderate estimate upon oneself, to think of oneself soberly, to curb one's passions, which to put moderate estimation upon oneself. I like that one, because that's like, hey, you're not thinking too lowly of yourself, and you're not thinking too highly of yourself. Like, hey, I'm a man. I'm I understand my weaknesses. I understand my strengths. Now let me continue. Let me continue in the path. Now that I know my weaknesses, I know my strengths. Let's go. And I'll learn more about myself along the way. And more weaknesses will be purged out. Hey, with that, I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the rest of the elect. Shalom.